We will pay homage to the Buddha. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. So today we will continue talking about Savatthi. So we have already talked about Anathapindika, one of the famous devotees, also very famous supporter of Buddhas and Sangha. So today we have to talk about another devotee, the lady. She was named Visakha. So last night we have already introduced her life story briefly. So her father moved to Kosala Kingdom. Also, she got married to one of the men in Savatthi. So in reality, she lived in the small city we call Saketa. When their family moved to Kosala Kingdom, they have a lot of slaves, also workers. Also, they have a lot of properties. That's why they set up their own city. Then it will be just for their own community. Later, she married to one of the rich men in Savatthi. She also moved to Savatthi. As we have already known, she had 10 sons and then 10 daughters. So each of them also had children. 20 children again. You can also imagine how big her family is. Okay, the main thing is she lived in big community, we can say big family. Also, she's also very influential in the community. She was also a good supporter of the Buddha and the Sangha. In the very beginning, she didn't offer monastery, just normal supporter. So later, he could offer a big monastery we call Pa-Auk Monastery. Then we should say how she supports the Sangha. Actually, she requests special favor from the Buddha. Okay, here I will list out all the favor. The first one, Vasika Satika, rain button rough clothes. So here we have a Pali word, Vasika Sadika. This really called rain bathing clothes, but not Vassa robe now. Sometimes people get confused. Rain bathing clothes mean Vassa robe. Actually, these two are different. So Vassa robe is just for those who spend Vassa in the monastery. For about rain bathing clothes or rain bathing robe clothes, it has limited time. In the rainy season, we can use it. After rainy season, we're going to use any more. But in the case of Vassa robe, this is mostly a set of robe now we offer in the community. Even in Pa-Auk or any other monastery, when they offer Vassa robe, mostly they offer a set of robe. Okay, the main thing is, these two are different. Vassa robes and rain bathing clothes are different. Okay, now we have to move the next one. Akanduka Bhatta. Okay, unluckily, there's no number in, right? No, number 2, Akanduka Bhatta. Food for visiting monks. So that means there are many bhikkhus. They came to see the Buddha. So sometimes they may not have enough time to go for Bindapada. So they may have limited time. When that kind of thing happen, Visakha supports any kind of bhikkhus like that. So she may invite them to her house. She may offer food for them. So this is also second favor he asked from the Buddha. And the third one, Gamika Pata, food for departing or traveling monks. So there are some bhikkhus, they are going to travel somewhere, or they are going to depart the monastery. Sometimes they may have time to go for Bindapada. When that kind of thing happen, they can go to Visakha house. Then they can get food for that kind of bhikkhus. Okay, now we have the next one, number 4. Gilana Batam, food for sick monks. When somebody is sick, they're going to go for Pindapada. Then they can ask donation from, food from Visakha's family. She will support them. So you can also imagine how busy her life will be. Every day, there will be somebody. But not only that, actually, they are mentioned there are 500 monks every day. She provides food for them. So we can say 500 is too much, right? In Pa-Auk we have now 300, more than 300. Actually, very busy day. They have to prepare breakfast. Maybe earlier, maybe tonight they will prepare. So they will cut some vegetable or many things. But the next morning they must be ready. It's very busy. Of course, she has very big family. That's why she may have a lot of workers also, a lot of volunteers also. That's why she could provide many things like that. Okay, sometimes, according to Pali, they also misunderstand that anytime, please allow me to offer. Every bhikkhu, please allow me to offer. She requested that kind of things from the Buddha. That's why many people misunderstood. Oh, if we are sick, we can eat anytime. Visakha also requested anytime she allow her to offer food for sick bhikkhus. So this is actually some misunderstanding. So according to Vinaya, in the afternoon, we are not allowed to eat food, right? So that means timely eaten. She may provide food for any bhikkhus who got sick. And not only that, we have another group, number 6. Kilanubhataga Bhata, food for those caring for the sick. There are some bhikkhus, when they are sick, somebody must take care of them. Without food, they're going to survive also. We will have some special conditions. Sometimes the sick bhikkhu cannot eat while there will be leftover food. Of course, Kilanubhataga, the caring bhikkhus can have that kind of food also. So it will be necessary for them. They may need that kind of food for them. That's why Visakha also requested the Buddha to allow her to offer food for any bhikkhu who take care of the sick. Now we have another statement. Gilana Besajan, medicine for the sick. So this is the one thing. Previously, we just talk about the foods, right? These are foods. Now we talk about medicine. According to Vinaya, medicines and food are two different. So if donor invite us with foods, we can ask food, right? When we are sick, although donor didn't invite us, we can ask medicine from any donor. They are two different things. So foods, we must have special invitation from devotees. For our medicine, we may not need because we are sick. Of course, without sickness, we cannot ask any donations from devotees, any medicine from devotees. So you may have known this kind of statement. Sometimes, although donors are very rich, if their faith is not very strong, they may offer very little. So then you have to think about their faith or their saddha. We might accept very little, although they have a lot of donation. There can be some contrary to it. For example, some donors, they are very poor. They need to offer a lot. So since they are poor, we can accept only very little, although they have very strong faith, very strong saddha. So in the case of sickness, we have to ask what we need. Of course, it doesn't mean we have to ask whatever thing we can ask whatever thing we like, whatever we need, right? It's not like this. If really necessary, we can take it. Sometimes we just want to get something we don't need really, then it will be the problem. It's spoiling people's devotion and faith. Here we just talk about foods and medicine. Okay, now we have to move number 7. Duwa Yagum, regularize gruel, this daily offering. So this is also ancient culture. Before they go for Pindapata or for breakfast, they may have yagu or porridge. Okay, now here one more thing for your information. How can we know this is yagu or this is a rice? Right? We can also know that we get that kind of question, right? So they may cook rice. Okay, now practically in BMC can be arranged mixture of rice, right? Or some net also maybe there. He cooked together. He offer every morning. It's a little bit thick. Oh, now we can use our hand to eat it. If they're kind of thick, we cannot say that is a yagu or porridge. If more watery, we cannot eat eat it with our own hands, right? We have to drink, or we have to use spoon to drink. This is what we call porridge. So okay, if we say easier way, if very thick, then this is not yagu. If it's more watery, not very thick, rice, this can be called yagu. So with that, Visakha provides that kind of porridge every day for any bhikkhu. So it can be breakfast for them. I don't know how you manage that kind of things in Singapore or any other country, but in Myanmar, when we are going to do yagu, right, we also put chicken or any other meat. Also, they also put egg. They also use pepper, right? There are many ingredients in yagu. Anyway, the main thing is she offer porridge every day to Sangha. And the last one, Bhikkhuni Sangha Uddaka Sadikam, bathing clothes for the Bhikkhunis. So Bhikkhuni also needs bathing clothes. This is also one of the things. So when Bhikkhuni is going to take a bath, they may need that kind of clothes. This is also one of the 5 jivara. Right? This is also one of the 5 jivara. So, okay, here if we summarize, we can imagine there are only 4 degrees, right? But she offered 3. The first is food, right? Second one is medicine. The other one is clothes. So she offered 3 of them. She supports foods, medicine, and then clothes for Bhikkhu and Bhikkhuni Sangha. This is her request. The Buddha also allowed her to offer as she wish. So she also offered as she promised. Not like a previous king, right? We already talked about King Bimbisara, right? He was very busy, then he was forgetful. She forgot to provide residence for 4 bhikkhus. Also, she also forgot to provide workers for Venerable Pilindawacha. Right? That kind of thing happened. But Visakha, she was really ready for any bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. This is also her daily life. There are some statements. It mentioned Visakha also offered 2,000 bhikkhus and bhikkhunis every day. This is also one of the statements. So you can also imagine she may be very rich, right? That's why she supports very big group of bhikkhus and bhikkhunis. So every day she provides food for 500 bhikkhus. Every day she may invite 500 bhikkhus to her house, and she may prepare food for them, offer food for them. The another one is 2,000. It just maybe it can be many other cases. It can, like, for example, now we have already mentioned porridge. Also can be for medicine. Also can be any foods we have mentioned before. Also can be any kind of clothes. So we cannot know how many bhikkhus live in Savatthi. So there can be sometimes more than thousands of bhikkhus. Sometimes many thousands of bhikkhus can be. That is why it mentioned she offered 2,000 bhikkhus and bhikkhunis every day. This is also possible, right? Because she was very rich. Also, she had very big family. She may have many volunteers. She could provide easily. Okay, this is her request or her supporting to the Sangha and the Buddha. Actually, there are many other things we can say, but it will be too long. You have already known she also offered big monastery. So that means she became donor of 4 locations: living space, foods, medicine, and clothes. So since you have already known, she offered Bobarama Monastery. Also, she spent a lot of money for it. Even she also sent very joyful sound when she was going to offer, when she was celebrating offering ceremony to the Buddha and Sangha. Okay, this is her supporting. Now we should talk about some discourse to Visakha. Actually, the Buddha also delivered many discourses to Visakha. So since Visakha is a good supporter, okay, we can also say like Anathapindika. She also has very strong attachment to her family. I already mentioned in the case of Anathapindika. Whenever Anathapindika came to see the Buddha will talk about dana, sila, also about morality or very simple like family life, also about happiness, only that kind of things. The Buddha will not talk about very high Dhamma talk, like Vipassana or Namarupas or Anicca Dukkha Anatta, not like that. Similarly, we also have very strong attachment to our family. That is why whenever the Buddha delivered discourses to Visakha, the Buddha will never talk about Namarupa or Anicca Dukkha or that kind of things. The Buddha can talk about very simple things. You may have known many different types of Uposatha. Taken precepts, we can say 8 precepts. So the Buddha deliver a discourse to Visakha, talking about 3 types of Uposatha. Surely, when we study in Mahabodhavansa, we can also find many other types of Uposatha. Now we should talk about the purpose of Uposatha. It's also important to know. The first one is to purify our speech, action, and mind. Another thing is a kind of contentment. When we are going to take precepts or when we are going to take Uposatha, we must have contentment. This is the key point also. Although we undertake precepts or we take Uposatha Sila, if we don't have contentment, not that much meaningful. In our modern community, they also say one English word, minimalism. Right? If we take precept, we can save more money. We can say like a minimalism. We don't need to waste too much money. We don't need to waste too much properties, too much materialities. It will be easier for us to survive. So another thing is that Uposatha also there must be patience or forbearance. If we are impatient with our body, we may have problem. We may break precepts. So Visakha is also frequently visited the Buddha and also take precepts. The one day, the Buddha talked about 3 types of Uposatha to Visakha. 1. Gobalaka Uposatha, cowherd Uposatha. That means the cowherds had to take care of the cows and bulls and cattle. So he may count cattle. Also, he may also find where he must go, where he can get fresh grass or young grass. He must find special ground for cows and bulls. Also calves also there, right? Similarly, there are some devotees, although they are undertaking precepts, they may think about the foods, like a cowherd, right? Where I can give water for my cattle, bulls, cows, and calves. Where I can get grass, fresh grass, young grass. As cowherds think about food and water for the cows and bulls and cattle and calves. Then bhikkhu also, the Upasthana undertaker also may think about only foods. Or today, we may have this kind of breakfast, this kind of lunch. We may have this kind of juice, this kind of fruit, this kind of vegetable. They're thinking about the food all the time. This is called Gopalaka Upasatha. So I have already mentioned taking Upasatha to have contentment. If we are greedy or think about the foods all the time, we don't have contentment. It's not that meaningful. That's why when we are going to take 8 precepts or 9 precepts or any Uposatha Sila, we must have contentment with the food. Otherwise, it will be Gopalaka Uposatha. So from time to time, you may have joined to some meditation retreat. Also, from time to time, people also talk about, oh, today the food is good, like this, like that, right? Just try to recall the foods. Tomorrow, what kind of food it will be, right? Just think about the food all the time. This is also not good conditions for that kind of meditators. Okay, now we have to move the next one. Nikanta Uposatha. Okay, this is one of the things. Nikanta Uposatha. Okay, here when we say Nikanta, that is actually naked ascetic. Now we can also say like a Jainism. So Nikanta Uposatha, they may have a limited space or limited time. So from time to time, they will change their way of practice. For example, okay, practically, we have green tea, the Myanmar tea leaves. We also make salads, tea leaf salads. We eat as a food. We don't accept as a medicine in Myanmar. But there are some other countries, they have different species of tea leaves. Then they can drink. They can also use as a medicine sometimes. Okay, sometimes non-modern food, they also use flour as a green tea, right? In the green tea. Anyway, the main thing is it depends on the place. For example, some area, although it's Myanmar green tea, Myanmar tea leaves, they will drink in the evening. Some place, some monastery, then they may not drink Myanmar tea leaves in the evening. For Nikanda Uposatha practitioners, they will change their way of practice. If they are in the community of drinking green tea in the evening, then they will take it. If they're in the community of a monastery where they don't drink green tea in the evening, he will not drink green tea in that place. Similarly, coffee. Right? In Pa-Auk tradition, we don't drink coffee, right? In the evening. But there are other traditions, they may drink coffee. So if Nikanda Uposatha practitioners, they will change their color. Okay, since they drink, I can also drink. Just follow. Follow majority. Follow the local people. This is called Nikanda Uposatha. So it depends on the place, they can change. Or they can also change, it depends on the people. For example, if somebody is alcoholics, right? Then he may drink a lot. At the time, he may say, oh, drinking alcohol is not mistakes. He may change the topic. So that means if there's a immoral person, they will change their way of life. They will follow majority. This is called Nikanda Uposatha. It depends on the community they live or the place that means some of the people they meet also. So according to where they live, who they meet, they will change the way of practice. So in their minds, okay, in some place we can break precepts. In some place we cannot break precepts. In some community we can break precepts. In some community we cannot break precepts. So their way of practice is changing all the time. This Nikanda Uposatha. We must be very careful in our community, right? So if we change a lot, follow this tradition, that traditions, suddenly we become very easy, right? That we are tricked to make mistakes. to follow the wrong path. So we must learn Vinaya, we must know the rule and regulations, we must follow the Buddha teaching, not majority, not locality. Okay, now we have to move to the last one about Ariya Uposatha, Noble Uposatha. Okay, this one is the best one among the three. What's it really called Ariya Uposatha? There are some practitioners, when they are going to take precepts, then they will undertake precepts. Then after taking precepts, they will spend their time with meditation. In the original text, it mentioned Buddhanusati, Dhammanusati, and Sanghanusati. So that means they may do Buddhanusati. Okay, one more thing here for your understanding. Sometimes people also misunderstand. If we say Buddhanusati, that means if we can recite Itipiso Bhagavahan Sama Sambuddha, this is Buddhanusati. In reality, this is only Buddha's quality. In the case of Buddhanusati, we must really understand the meaning of Buddha's quality. We must try to feel it. We must try to understand it deeply in our hearts. After that, we have to recall it or reflect the quality of Buddha. So, for example, when we are going to do Arahant quality, then we have to recall the meaning of Arahant. The meaning of Arahant may be different. There are many different meanings or variations. Okay, we should say easier one, the one who is free from defilements. The defilements are very wide. Right? We have, for example, lobha, greed, dosa, hatred, moha, delusions, mana, arrogance, or conceit, or pride. So actually, there are many types of manas. There's many types of defilements. So the Buddha is free from all types of defilements. We must understand how pure his mind will be. We must know how pure his mind is. After that, we can recall Buddha's quality, free from defilements. Then, if we can recall Buddha's quality, of course, we can have rapture, joy, tranquility, bliss, concentration, because we attain up to asset concentration. This also can be foundation. This can also be the foundations of vipassana. This is also called Ariya Uposatha. Similarly, we may have many other qualities. You can also learn Buddha's quality. I think even our daily time we have already mentioned. We already have translation of Buddha's quality. Similarly, Dhamma's qualities, Sangha's qualities. We call it in the quality of Buddha's Dhamma and Sangha. We can do it. It also can be foundations of vipassana. This is called Ariya Uposatha. Okay, now we also have to say traditional, Myanmar traditional Uposatha. You're going to find that kind of culture in other country. I was born in a small village. So I remember my childhood. Actually, when I was a little boy, I also lived in the monastery. Every Uposatha day, many old people, even middle-aged people, came to the monastery. Then they would take a precepts. Then after that, they may count beads, because they're rosary, right? Mostly they do Buddhanusati. Arahant, 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 right? One time Arahant, pull one beads 2 times Arahant, put another beast like this, right? So 108 times of Arahant. After that, Sama Sambuddha, Sama Sambuddha, Sama Sambuddha, 108 times. All the 9 qualities, one after another. This is the way they do in the Uposatha day. Then there are also many other way of counting beads. For example, sometimes they also do Buddhaṃ Saranam Gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ Saranam Gacchāmi, Sanghaṃ Saranam Gacchāmi. Right? For example, Buddhaṃ Saranam Gacchāmi 108 times. Dhammaṃ Saranam Gacchāmi 108 times. Counting beads. So similarly, sometimes they also do like Anicca Dukkha Anatta. Anicca, right? 108 rounds, Dukkha, 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 Anatta, like this. So there are many ways of counting beads in Myanmar. This is what I remember. Okay, now we have another tradition, Dhamma talk. Actually, in the village, we don't have many bhikkhus. We may not have many Dhamma talks in every Uposatha day. But we have Dhamma books. One of the elderly men or elderly women who have good eyesight or who can read well will sit on the front row. All the people are sitting in the hall. Then he or she may read like a Buddha Vassa or Dhammapada story or Jataka story. Sometimes they also read Dhamma books written by some other scholars. So this is also the way they learn Dhamma in the Uposatha day. Okay, the main thing is in the Uposatha day, in our mind is full of wholesome thoughts. That's good enough. When we have contentment, is good enough. Okay, now we have 3 types of Uposatha. Talk to Vissaka. The first one, thinking about the foods, not recommended. Second one, thinking about opportunity to break precepts, also not recommended. The last one, Ariya Uposatha, this is recommended by the Buddha. So this is a Dhamma talk to Vissaka. Of course, as usual, the Buddha may talk about dana, how important dana is, how to do dana. The Buddha will talk about sila. The Buddha will talk about samadhi for some times. Mostly the Buddha may talk about family life. This is the Vissaka. Okay, now we have to talk about a few more things about her life. That is her friends. So there are many of her friends. They also go to the monastery, went to the monastery. They also take precepts. But there are many of her friends. They have different ages also. Okay, one more thing, we already mentioned, Vissaka was very influential in that community. She had many followers. So at the time, we can say she was not very old yet. Maybe she may be a little bit young. Then many women follow her to undertake precepts in the monastery. That is in the Jetavana monastery. Then she approached and asked many of her Dhamma friends. For example, some old lady, right? So when she asked very old lady, then, okay, Madam, why do you undertake precepts? Then they reply, oh, we want to be reborn in a good destination in the future. That is why we just take precepts. So you can also imagine the one. To be reborn, good destination. right? That means their intentions are not so wide, not so wise also. Sometimes people also ask me, why this kind of things called mistakes, right? This is a good thing. They can be reborn, and the question is, this is a good thing. Why? It's mistakes. Of course, morality is valuable. You can get more than that. So now in Singapore, I don't know, right? Subway. That's why I don't know how many stations do you have. Okay, anyway, then you are going to when you are going to visit one round Singapore by train. You have already booked tickets. You're already buying tickets, but you don't follow. As soon as you arrive at the first station, you get out of the train. You waste your money. You're already buying one round ticket, right? In Singapore, you don't need ticket, right? You just need cut. Anyway, just example. So similarly, if we have morality, it also can be for the attainment of Nibbana. It also can be supporting cause of Nibbana. Of course, if we wish, we can be reborn in a good destination. This is only small station on the way to big station like Nibbana. That means they are wasting their energy. Although they can use that kind of power to attain Nibbana, they don't use for it. They just use for just near future lives. That is why that kind of mindset is not correct. Another thing, the purpose of Upasana is contentment, for contentment. So we need to be richer, we need to be happier in the future. This is not contentment, it's kind of greed. If we summarize and say easier way, to cut defilements, we undertake precepts. But by undertaking precepts, they become greedy. This is not right attitude. This is not right mindset. So now Visakha cannot feel happy when hearing that kind of things from elderly lady. Then she approached middle-aged woman and asked again, why do you take 8 precepts? And they say, we can also say like that they want to be free from co-wives, maybe, right? For example, she may be first wife, her husband takes second wife because they're co-wives, right? So that means she don't wish to be first wife or second wife. She just wish to be only one wife for her husband. For this kind of, that means she don't want to compete with any lady, any woman. Also, she does not want to quarrel with any woman for a husband. For this reason, she undertakes precepts. Because imagine this one get worse, right? Then again, then we can say the last one, single woman or single ladies. They haven't got married yet. Then she also approached them and asked, okay, why do you take precepts? Then the young lady, we can say young girl, right? We can single lady or single girl talk about getting son in their first pregnancy. That means in their marriage, her first pregnancy should be a son. For this kind of wish, they just undertake 8 precepts. So although they are undertaking precepts very seriously, but they don't have right intention. So that make Visakha unhappy. Then she approached the Buddha and reported the matter. So here the Buddha mentioned the stanza. Just as a cowherd drives the cattle to the pasture with a stick, so too aging and death drives the lives of beings onwards. This is the stanza taught by the Buddha. So here we should say cowherds. So similarly, dread, again like a death, drive us to the aging and sickness every day. Also, we can say every hour, every minute, every second. This is the main meaning, the main meanings of this stanza. So that means although we are getting older and older, we are driven by aging every day, every single hours, every single minute, every single second. But we still have negligence. We don't think about liberation. We're not enjoying the bliss of meditation. So that means when we are going to do something, we must have right intention. We can also say good intention. If we have good intentions or right intention, then it will be useful for the community. If we have bad intention, of course, it's not that much useful. For example, morality. If we undertake these steps, right, for the benefit of community. Okay, for example, we may undertake these steps. Okay, if I undertake these steps, my parents will be happy. That kind of thing will be okay. Not that bad. Let your parents happy by your own practice. This is also a good thing to do. But then if I can practice well, my teacher will be happy. This is also a good thing. The good mindset. You don't need to think about yourself, you just think about other people. Okay, not only that, if I undertake these steps, I don't need to disturb anybody. I can show my loving kindness towards all the living beings, practically, by action and speech. So with this kind of mindset, this is also right. When we study precepts, the first one is Banadipada. So under the precepts of Banadipada, when we read in the original source, it mentioned Banadipada Bari with a door. After that, there's a few Bali words. That is a Nida Sato, Nida Dando, Laji Deyapano. This kind of statement. So in Nida Dando means stick, or any weapon. Nida Sato is a really called weapon. So that means we don't use any weapon. We don't bring any weapon wherever we go to show kindness to our other living beings. This is also the act we have to show our community. Then another thing is laji, shame. So we must feel shame if we are doing many mistakes. When we become shameless, we are very used to it with mistake already. So sometimes we have already habits. We're going to change easily. After a long time making mistakes, it becomes habit. We become shameless. That's why in Lachi, we must feel shame doing mistakes. Another thing is Dayapano. Okay, here we should say Dayapano means kindness, or loving kindness, or compassion to our living beings. Without having this kind of kindness and compassion, if we do undertaking precepts, not that much useful, not that much meaningful also. Okay, the main thing is, in this story of our friends, we also know our intention is important. You may have learned many stories, especially when you go and learn in Vimanawatu, right? There are some the divine beings in Tawarinsa or any other higher realms. They have very good divine mentions, also very beautiful. They have a lot of attendants. Then whenever Mamagrana asks them, how do you get this kind of divine mention? Then they may reply, oh, I have got taken 1 day precepts or half-day precepts, like this, right? That's when they can achieve that kind of happiness. They can gain that kind of happiness. Of course, they can gain because their mindset is correct, pure. That's why when they undertake precepts, they follow the precept with pure minds, without expecting any gain or fail. It's not for show. They just do with good mindset. That's why they can achieve that kind of things. They can gain that kind of happiness. So similarly, now in modern society, we may have many different types of undertaking precepts. Similarly, we may also have many different reasons for undertaking precepts. Some may be for show, some may be for real, some may be for purity, some may practice for higher practice, like for samatha or vipassana or for higher training. As long as our mind is pure and correct, that is good thing to do. That kind of taking over style is worthy, more powerful. Okay, we also have to continue the next part of Visakha, but okay, today maybe nearly 1 hour. Okay, anyway, I should continue the next one. Our friends again. Okay, today we should also say another group of our friends. So Visakha also have many followers. Then there are 500. There were 500 men. They wanted their wives to become generous, kind, and virtuous, like Visakha. That's why they sent their wife to stay with Visakha. Also, they encourage their wife to learn from Visakha. Their intention is really very good, right? Generous, of course, this is also one of the good quality. Kindness, of course, this is also very good quality. Virtuous is very important when we are in the community also. Since they were housewife, if they are virtuous, they will be role model of their children. If they are generous, they will be role model of their children. If they are kind, they will be role model of their children. So their children will be generous, kind, and virtuous. So we can also understand 500 female Upasthana practitioners. So they learn from Visakha. Then, of course, they are unwilling. Their husband wish them, right, to behave well or to be virtuous, generous, or kind, but they are unwilling. So there were many festivals at the time. So one day, in one of the festivals, Visakha was not there. Then all the women, 500 women, they like taking intoxicants. They want to break Suramiraya Sikhabra. But if they are together with their husband also, they cannot take alcohol. Then otherwise, if there's a Visakha also, they cannot take alcohol. Then they left their husband. Right? Then also, they become drunk. Then they also come to know if their husband find out, then there will be a big problem for them. Then they also want to drink. They also have to go to monastery to see Visakha. So they hide. They hide their alcohol with small bottle. They make many small bottle of alcohol. They hide here and there in their body. So then they are going to listen Dhamma talk from the Buddha. Also, Visakha is also there. Visakha also asked them to go to the monastery, to go to and listen Dhamma talk. So they hide many small bottles of alcohol in their clothes. So they drank secretly all alcohol, and they throw away the bottles. You can also imagine 500 bottles, right? It will be very messy. We don't know how many bottles they bring for each. Then Visakha also requested the Buddha to teach them the Dhamma. The woman got drunk already. So when they got drunk, there are two color appear also, right? Some of them start singing, some of them start dancing, some of them laugh very loudly. So you can also imagine it will be very messy in the Dhamma hall. So at the moment, Mara also took a chance to influence them. It got worse. So they become bold. Because they became bolder, more shameless. Now after that, they also like clapping, jumping, shouting inside the monastery. I think you can guess if that gonna happen in your house, what will happen? How will you feel? Just in front of the Buddha, they were doing like that. Then the Buddha also came to know this is a Mara. Mara also influenced them. That's why the Buddha decided to stop them. He entered into black casino. He sent black ray and made all the monastery dark. When when entire monastery became dark, they became afraid and scared. Then you can imagine how it happened to them. When they become scared, all their drink has gone, right? So when they become very scary, the Buddha enter into white casino. We can also say like a bright casino also possible. Here we just mentioned white casino. So he also expand the light of white casino. So it can be like many thousands of monks appear in the monastery. At the time, they become more mindful. So the Buddha also talked to them. Right? You should not come here without mindfulness. Because you are careless, Mara was able to control you. That's why you behave very badly, laughing, shouting in the monastery. Try not to remove the fire of desire in your heart. So that means even they cannot control their desire for alcohol. The Buddha remind them first. After that, the Buddha deliver a short discourse. Why is there laughter? Why is there joy when the way is always burning? Come out in darkness. Why do you not look for the light? So here you have already know what is really called laughter or joy. Okay, the way is always burning. What does that mean, burning? We have defilements, aging, sickness, death. They are consuming every day. They are burning in our body every day. So kava in darkness, that means whenever we talk about darkness, that means delusions or illusion. Moha, in Bali we also call avijja sometimes. Although we have two different usage, moha or avijja, actually it will be the same ultimate sense. Why do you not look for the lights? Okay, the light means enlightenment. We can also understand as a wisdom. So this is also one of the events happen in the Jadavana monastery. They are also Vissaka's follower. Luckily, at the end of this Dhamma talk, some of them could attain Sotapanna. There can be very big crowd of people there. So this is also the events that happen in the monastery. So these are Vissaka life and followers. Okay, now we have to talk about her granddaughter. Or maybe we don't have time, right? Enough time. Okay, so now we should stop here. Tomorrow we can continue talking about Vissaka granddaughter. Okay, today we just talk about Upasatha, very simple. So even at the time of Narabendika, we also have talk about Sila. Okay, now today we just talk about the purpose of morality. We must have kindness, compassion, also loving kindness towards all the living beings as the basics of morality. We must have a good mindset like a contentment, fearless of wish. These are also important. If a good mindset and good foundations, there will be good result of our morality. So may you all be able to practice free trainings and may you all be able to realize final cessation and not suffering.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Okay,
Bhante,
now
we ask questions.
Okay, you may have a question.
Yeah, Bhante, there's a question over the screen, over the chat. Should I read out?
Okay.
Sadhu said that we are wasting our ticket to Nibbana if we aspire for things that are less than to make an end of suffering. Bhante can see the message? No.
Yes, I can see also. Okay.
Yeah. However, the more I understand the conditions and preliminary work for meditation, that is Samadhi Sikha, I understand how many factors should be fulfilled. That is a competent teacher, suitable food, weather, etc. And how many things we need to avoid, that is like major and minor impediments, and 8 factors for decline of a yogi. So sometimes when we don't get it in life or long time suitable conditions, we make a wish to get them first, but not because we give up the wish for Nibbana. So can it be said that we are wasting our tickets or expire wrongly? It's the first question.
Actually, okay, here we should understand 2 things about, right? Impediment. Of course, impediment come from ourselves. We can cut. We can also do. We can also follow impediment. We can also cut impediment. It depends on us also, right? For example, like suitable conditions. It comes from ourselves also. So we cannot expect from many people. But I mean, why he cannot help me? Why he's not good Dhamma friend? We cannot expect like that. It comes from ourselves. We have to make evidence suitable by ourselves. Don't expect from other, right? So that means we may need power to create better environment by ourselves. We must make ourselves more suitable for community also. If we don't change ourselves, of course, we cannot change other people also, right? So in this case, we cannot say the wisdom take care or something. I mean, you may need to learn more. You must be influential. This is the one thing. Another thing is that you must be good practitioners. You can create your own way to improve yourself. Okay.
Okay, Bhante, second questions from the chat. For some meditators, even ordained ones, they can sit meditation for many years, but without mental inclination. So sitting for a long time without concentration. And what is the factor that has effect on the mental inclination of a person? Is it meritorious deeds or sense of urgency that makes one inclined to meditate and succeed, or there are other factors?
Actually, for a long time sitting, right? Mostly people think if we sit very long time, then they can improve faster. They have that kind of understanding. Actually, this is not truth. All the improvement comes from skill. Although you meditate very long time, if you're not very skillful, you cannot improve easily, right? This is one of the problem. Okay. The supporting conditions of improvement. Actually, if we say briefly, it can be only 3. The first one is defilement. When you have defilements, you cannot improve easily. So the more defilement you have, the more difficulty you encounter. This is the one thing. First, we must try how to subside defilements. So we also have to know what kind of defilements arise in our daily life most of the time. If we can find out, we have to find the solution. This will be one of the supporting causes of improvement. One more thing here we have to know. When you have very sound defilements, you will lose your concentration easily. You will lose very fast, very quickly. The second one. Then we also call asapaya gochara, unsuitable conditions. Unsuitable condition means you also accumulate impediment. You are busy with many different people, talking with many people, a lot of communications, a lot of conversation. This is one of the things. Another thing is too much learning, too much reading. Sometimes you read Dhamma books written by this scholar, this meditation teacher, that meditation teacher. It makes you confused. This is also one of the things you have to be very careful. Okay. In the case of asapaya gochara, unsuitable conditions, it will be many. Many means not guiding your sense to also include there. You don't control your sense door. You follow your eyes. You see. You watch whatever you like. For example, it can be a movie. You listen to music, right? You follow your desire too much. This is also called asapaya gochara, unsuitable conditions. It also can be the food. Most people like good foods, choice foods, special foods, right? Favorite foods. Then if you have many favorite foods, if you have, when you're inclined to food most of the time, you're going to improve. You may have known the Pali words. Bhojana Metta Nyutta. Moderate in foods. You can also say contentment. If you have contentment, it will be faster. If you don't have contentment, it will be slower. Okay, the main thing is under the name of Asabaya Gochara, that means you become busy unnecessarily. Your mind become busy, your body become busy. This is called Asabaya Gochara. When you have the Asabaya Gochara, your consciousness will decline slowly. Of course, you will improve slowly also. It also can be normal improvements when you have very heavy duties. Okay, the last one is Ananu Yoga, laziness. Or not practicing. Not practicing means sometimes experiencing the same things every day, we become lazy. Not interested in meditation anymore. If we're interested in meditation, we will practice regularly, normally. Also, we have more interest in meditation, it will be getting better. So that means every day, if you can experience new things, then you can practice better. You are more interested in meditation. Then you will be more active. That's why it's also important, regular practicing or normal practicing or interest in meditation. This thing will make you improve. Okay?
In the Metta Sutta, I came across the phrase Sabbe Satta Bhariyabana. Could you please explain its meaning? Also, what's the difference between this and the Sabbe Satta? Second one, in regards to Sama Vimutti, right, liberation, how can we know with certainty that the mind has been entirely freed from the three defilements of greed, hatred, and delusions?
Okay, one more thing. The question is, what is the difference between Sabbe Satta and Sabbe Bhariyabana, right? This one, okay. We can say grammatical analysis first. Satta means attachment or clinging. That means all the living beings have attachment to their life. This is called Sabbe Satta. For example, Arhats, they don't have attachment to their life anymore. But before attaining arhatship, they also have attachment. Then they also call Satta. Okay? Another Sabbe Bhariyabana. That means every living being have aggregate. This is called Sabbe Bhariyabana. So that means it can be Arhat or any living beings, right? They have aggregates. Another thing is about Vimutti, Sama Vimutti. Actually, we cannot know before attaining path and fruition knowledge. Of course, for temporarily, for example, when your mind becomes very pure, just keep knowing, breathing, right? Otherwise, because it's substitution. That means the 5 minutes does not disappear. The 5 minutes are not eradicated totally, but temporarily they fade away. So in the case of Sama Vimutti, it must be path and fruition knowledge. So one more thing, when can we know we are free from greed and hatred and delusion, right? In this case, it depends on reviewing knowledge. If we can review, we can know how many defilements we have already eradicated, how many defilements are remaining. Okay, the next one.
Bhante can explain what is Nibbana in more detail.
What's the Nibbana?
Yes.
Actually, I don't explain that kind of thing, right? Whenever we ask what is the Nibbana, I just encourage them, okay, try to know what is the breathing first. It's more practical, right? Even that's very far. Breathing is more practical. True practical one.
Okay, one question. Sador said how Myanmar people use beads to do Buddhanussati, but in Lanka, I was told to use beads to do Buddhanussati, thinking all 9 qualities have moved one bead. Both way okay or not? I did when walking and felt the Buddha image with some orange brightness. Is this the Upachara Samadhi?
Actually, it will be different. Upachara Samadhi will be very far. By counting beads, it's not that easy to attain Upachara Samadhi as a concentration because this is very superficial, right? In the case of concentration, you must be very stable without moving. And your hand is like counting beads, right? Moving, shaking. You have two objects. One thing is Buddha's quality, another thing is beads. So that's why you have two objects. You don't have single-minded, single object. We call ekakata, one-pointedness, right? When you can know one object all the time, we can say one-pointedness. Then when we have one-pointedness, there can be asset concentration or absorption concentration. It's not that easy for counting beads to achieve or to attain asset concentration. Okay.
Bhante, this question about Bhante's story told just now, when the drunkard people who just finished to drink the alcohol and were shameless in front of the Buddha at the hall, but some of them still could attain Sotapanna after listening to short talk given by the Buddha. How is it actually possible? Is it means that the time they listened to the Buddha, they were already pure in morality? Five sila.
Okay. Here, in this case, we should say two different things: ordinary life and lay person life, two different conditions, right? In ordinary life, of course, we have to follow. We call apana kodika. Since we are ordained until we don't disrobe, we must follow the rule and regulations. This is the one thing. So when we break, we must make amendments or conflicts or other probation, right? It depends on what kind of offering we make. It will be different for bhikkhus. For layperson, we call in Bali Ayadin Samvarajita. Ayadin Samvarajita means we don't make the same mistake again in the future. When you have this kind of mindset, it will be similar to confection of bhikkhu. So as soon as you decided, I will not make the same mistake anymore, you are pure in morality. We call Sila Visuddhi at the time for layperson. That's why they have Sila Visuddhi, then they can proceed other purifications, they can take other Krishna knowledge. Etta vadaja amehi sambadam punya sambadam sabbe deva numodandu sabbe buddha numodandu sabbe saddha numodandu sabba sambati siddhiya idame nyatinam hodu sukhita hondu nyatayo idame nyatinam hodu sukhita hondu nyatayo idame nyatinam hodu sukhita hondu nyatayo idame punyam asawakaya waham hodu idame punyam nibbanasa bhajayo hodu mama punya bhagam sabbasadanam bhajemi te sabbe me sama punya bhagam labandu sadhu sadhu sadhu.